Boxing Truth here, back with another video. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's been a couple of days since Tyson's knockout win over Deontay Wilder. No surprise. It was a dose of reality to the Wilder fanboys. Wouldn't accept what happened to him the second fight. There's still excuses coming out about a bullshit long count. I mean, did you ever watch Jack Dempsey, Gene Tunney? You ever read the boxing rules for once? Fucking idiots. I mean, have you seen Dante's last two videos? I mean, the dude is just they just don't they just can't hold the L, man. They can't hold the L. It is what it is. But let's talk about Tyson Fury and how this win really places him in history. Now, people might say that he's the greatest heavyweight of all time. I'm hearing that narrative already. He's definitely the best heavyweight of this right now. Right now, he's the number one heavyweight, but he still has two other guys to beat to say that he's legitimately the best heavyweight of this era. Right now, he's the best heavyweight right now. He's the man who beat the man. He's number one. He's the lineal champion until proven otherwise. But there's still rivals out there that he has to beat. He hasn't established the type of reign of other heavyweight champions of the past. I mean, think about it. We can never know for sure how Tyson Fury would have done throughout history. I mean, if a one-dimensional limited heavyweight with good power can drop him 4 times. And I'm not knocking Wilder. I mean, Wilder's a good fighter, dangerous, but very limited. But there's more than a handful of heavyweights throughout history that I would pick over Deontay Wilder. That's just facts. I mean, that's just my opinion. But if Wilder can drop him 4 times with the limited ability he has, how would Fury have done against the likes of a Lennox Lewis? You know, how would he would have done against a Riddick Bowe, a Muhammad Ali, shit, even a Joe Frazier who could have gotten inside because he had the head movement to get inside. I can't say Fury is the greatest heavyweight of all time until he establishes the type of reign that Lennox Lewis had, that Vladimir Klitschko had, that Joe Louis had in his heyday, 25 title defenses. Even Jack Johnson had more title defenses than Tyson Fury did. So Fury, he's not that type of guy, though. I don't see him being this long reigning type champion. He's the type of fighter that can wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm gonna retire. I'm good. I got enough money. I got enough accolades. I mean, he's won everything though. He's won all the belts. But he's never been undisputed. This was his first legitimate title defense as WC heavyweight champion. Even though he has defenses as the lineal champion, if you want to count those. But the resume, I don't think is strong enough to say he's the greatest heavyweight of all time. The reign is not impressive enough to say he's the greatest weight of all time. And there's still 2 other guys that he has to beat. Or at least the winner of the rematch between Usyk and Joshua, which can go either way. Fury has to fight the winner of that fight to really cement his place among the all-time greats, and even to have an argument that he's the greatest heavyweight of all time. But we'll never know for sure how he would have done against past heavyweights. Maybe he was too big. Maybe he's too big for Tyson. Maybe he's too big for Joe Frazier. I wouldn't put money on Marciano beating Tyson Fury. But there are other heavyweights throughout history that could have gave him a run in for his money. A Joe Louis, a Evander Holyfield, a Lennox Lewis, even a Riddick Bowe in his prime. Muhammad Ali. I mean, if Steve Cunningham can give him some trouble, it's not out of the question that even one of the smaller heavyweights could have put a dent in Tyson Fury. But Fury is definitely the best number 1 heavyweight today. There's still some work to do to really determine if he's the greatest heavyweight of all time. But I don't see that type of reign for Fury. And the Joshua Fury fight will really put a stamp in his place in history if Joshua can right that wrong in the rematch, which is only a few adjustments he has to make. Maybe Joshua should take Fury's offer, teach him how to fight like a big man, because that's what Fury did, and that's what Fury will do if he gets an opportunity to fight Usyk. He will fight like a big man, wear him out, lean on him, and possibly stop him late. But you still have to fight the fights. There's still work that has to be done. And Tyson Fury is the man until proven otherwise. He's been true to his word throughout 32 fights. No man has beaten him. And we're going to have to see who's next. Could be the winner of, well, it depends what happens in White Wallen. I don't think Wallen will be installed as mandatory if Wallen wins that fight. If White wins, that's a huge fight for Tyson, and easy work for Tyson, in my opinion. When you look at the top heavyweights right now, there's not really anybody I would favor to beat Tyson. I think it's too small. Joshua, if he gets to a right mind frame, I think it presents the biggest test for Fury, but who knows how Joshua's going to be after the fight with Usyk. Dylan White just doesn't have enough skills, not enough speed to beat him. Joseph Parker sucks. Michael Hunter would be interesting, but I think he's just too small. Tyson's fought those type of heavyweights before, smaller guys, and he's dealt with them. Andrew Ruiz is too fat, too slow, too lazy, and just not motivated enough. Too small for Tyson, not good enough. Joe Joyce is too slow. Ortiz is too old. Helenius sucks. He is what he is, Helenius. Frank Sanchez is too defensive. You look at these crop of heavyweights. Daniel Dubois would be interesting, but he needs more experience. And he doesn't have enough defensively right now to beat Tyson Fury. So yeah, these crop of heavyweights, you had to say that Tyson's #1 until proven otherwise. But there's still a lot of work to be done before we hail Tyson Fury as the greatest heavyweight of all time. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.